Hello YouTube people, in today's video I'm gonna show you how this beautiful watch from Red Star called 1963, which is a homage to Seagull's 1963 watch, looks like on these custom straps. This video is sponsored by AliExpress. AliExpress gave me a budget which I was free to spend on any watches that I wanted, and this is one of those watches that I bought. So thank you AliExpress. Technical specifications and measurements which are done by me as always. This watch naked like this weighs just 52 grams. I'm saying just because this is a mechanical chronograph watch with sapphire crystal, so it is actually surprisingly light at 52 grams. Diameter is 37.8 millimeters right there. Lug to lug distance is 46.9 millimeters. Now thickness. This particular model has sapphire crystal and it is a little bit different from the one that has acrylic crystal. So the thickness with sapphire crystal, this one is 14.3 millimeters, and if you're gonna get a version with acrylic crystal, I believe that thickness is gonna be 14.7 millimeters, so 4 millimeters extra. Interestingly, it has a different look. Sapphire crystal, this one as you see right now, has a little bit taller bezel, and sapphire crystal on this watch is just slightly domed like that, okay? But if you go for a version with acrylic crystal, the bezel is gonna be slimmer, and that acrylic crystal is gonna be like double domed. It's gonna have rounded up side walls and a rounded up middle portion, and acrylic crystal in my opinion looks simply wonderful on this watch, and it's very nice option, but I just wasn't able to find one, so I bought the one with sapphire crystal, and I'm perfectly fine with that, but about that a little bit later. So the lug width is 18 millimeters. Inside we have ST 1901 movement, and on top we have sapphire crystal, which I don't know, does it have anti-reflective coating? Probably does a little bit, probably does. And on the bottom we have mineral crystal, which has rather obvious blue anti-reflective coating. I wanna check the accuracy of this watch, and before doing that, let's wind it up, and this time I'm gonna do this in front of the camera because you can actually see the internals, how I'm winding this watch up. So I haven't worn this watch for a full day, so I believe there will be several of winds that I can do, so I can give you a good look how it looks like. It's quite something to look at. That's it, fully wound, that's it. Now we can do accuracy testing. I never had a mechanical chronograph watch, and I always wondered if running a chronograph affects the accuracy of the watch. So I'm gonna do two testings. First testing without a chronograph running, and second testing with the chronograph running. We'll see if there is any difference at all. So first of all, without chronograph running. Minus 10 seconds. Now let's flip it over. Minus 6 seconds. Now crown facing down. 0. So quite a bit of deviation in different positions. 10 seconds of deviation. So now I wonder if I start a chronograph. Okay, let's see if we're gonna get different results this time. So let's do this again. Well, basically the same result, face up. Let's try face down. Minus 4 seconds, and now in crown facing down position. 0. So good news, running chronograph doesn't really affect the accuracy of the watch. Now quality control, and what kind of problems have I found on this watch? And I have very good news. I haven't found a single problem on this watch. It seems that this watch is very well made, Quite surprising, to be honest. It doesn't happen often, but on this watch I have nothing to complain about. Like, the case doesn't have sharp edges, pushers feel wonderful, crown also feels very nice, winding this watch up and setting the time. Setting the time, this crown has decent stiffness, it feels very precise, it's very nice thing to use. Also, looking at the alignment of hands, first of all, let's look at the chronograph. Big second hand belonging to the chronograph, as you can see, is very nicely centered. The right subdial, which belongs to the chronograph, also right in the center. Now let's check the hour and minute hands. Let's set on exactly 6. And as you can see, they are as straight as they can be. And I haven't found any dust particles underneath the sapphire crystal, well, at least with my naked eye, that is. This watch is very well made. I'm very happy with the quality control on this watch. And the original strap on this watch seems to be decent quality as well. It's not perfect, but it's actually not bad. Initially out of the box it was a little bit stiff, but after massaging it out it actually got softer and nicer. So after massaging it out like that, you know, it got soft and flexible, and most importantly, the inside of the strap is actually nice to touch. It doesn't feel like plastic, it feels nice, it feels breathable. That's very good. This strap is actually usable, you know, it's decent strap, nothing really to complain about. So let me show you the buckle, how the buckle looks like. It has this logo engraving, it's nicely done, it doesn't feel sharp. So yeah, the original strap is okay. And I wanted to test one thing. What would happen if I would start the chronograph? Okay, let's start the chronograph. Let me show you how everything works inside. Let's press this button. By the way, this button feels very nice, very mechanical. Obviously it feels very mechanical. Now I wanted to test out what would happen if while the chronograph is running I would be pressing this reset button, and the answer is nothing. Nothing happens. So here you go. You probably shouldn't be afraid to press this button. It's like, you can say it's foolproof. If you press this button, nothing breaks, nothing happens. So let's stop it. Okay, also feels wonderful. And interestingly, stop it and reset it, those buttons feel actually very different. Start and stop button has a very stiff mechanical feeling, while the reset button is actually very soft and still has very clicky mechanical feel, but very soft one. Like it's very easy to press it in. You almost don't feel it, but it is just a tiny bit of click. You can feel that. So let's start it again. Let's stop it. Now let's reset it. Yeah, it still feels very nice. Now I want you to show the bottom of this movement. Look at this interesting thing with teeth on the bottom. Now let's start it and pay attention how it moves. Okay, now the chronograph runs, and as you can see, hold on a second, let me grab something to point. This tiny wheel is actually touching this big wheel right now. It is running the chronograph, and what happens if I stop the chronograph right now? Look, it pushes it away like that. It pushes it away, and that's it. The chronograph is not running anymore, which is, as I understand, the middle cog. The middle cog is not running anymore. So let's engage it once again. And as you see, the middle cog is running right now. Cog or chain wheel, how should I call this thing? I don't know. The middle thing is running right now. So the chronograph is running. Now let's stop it again. Okay, and now let's reset it. Yeah, that's, I don't know. Usually I don't like mechanical movements. I'm more of a quartz guy, but this thing is actually interesting. Not only interesting, but it's actually very beautiful. It's for the given money, and I'll talk about the price a little bit later. I think this thing looks unbelievable. Unbelievable, you know. The movement is not the reason why I bought this watch, to be honest with you. Otherwise, I would have bought this 1963 watch a long time ago. I actually bought this watch because of this blue dial. I absolutely love how it looks like. But it turns out that I actually also like this side of this watch very much as well. Now I want to show you this chronograph running from up front, from the dial, and pay attention to one interesting thing is that right sub-dial, which shows 30 minutes of chronograph, the way it actually moves in increments of 1 minute, but it's like not continuous, but it only moves forward 1 minute once the chronograph's seconds hand passes over 60 seconds. So I only just found out about that. Hold on a second, let me clean a few dust particles. Anyway, look, the seconds hand is closing to the 60 seconds mark, and pay attention to the sub-dial. Look very carefully. Oh, well, that's nice. I didn't know that it does that. So it's like wait till it actually passes over 60 seconds, and only then it moves, only then it advances 1 minute. That's cool. I didn't know about that. That's very cool. Now, one more thing about this chronograph is that you can actually pause it. You can pause it, look at the time, whatever, and you can resume it. You can continue running. So as I showed you before, if you press the reset button while the chronograph is running, absolutely nothing happens. So let's pause it and let's reset it. Very nice. Let's talk about the comfort a little bit. While buying this watch, I was afraid of one thing, that thickness everywhere is stated as 15 millimeters, and it's quite a lot. 15 millimeters, quite a lot, even though my actual measurements on this Sapphire version shows 14.3 millimeters, which is still quite a lot. So I was afraid that this watch is gonna feel like just some kind of toy bubble thing on the wrist. So I'm very surprised to find out that nothing like that. It's actually a very comfortable watch on my wrist. It actually feels small. This watch is, it's basically 38 millimeter diameter, you can see. And what helps the most, I believe, with the comfort, first of all, is the weight. 52 grams, especially for a chronograph watch with sapphire crystal on top, is actually surprisingly light. So this watch is very light on my wrist. That feels very nice. It feels very stable, surprisingly, given its thickness. And another thing which I believe helps with the comfort quite a bit is the lug design. Even though looking from a straight down view, lugs seem to be rather long, but if you look from the side profile, these lugs are facing down quite aggressively, effectively making this watch hug your wrist very nicely. So I'm very surprised, but this watch doesn't feel like a bubble on my wrist. The only situation where I feel this watch bouncing on my wrist like that is when I ride my mountain bicycle over rough terrain, and and just my hands bouncing on the handlebars like that. Only in such extreme situation I feel this watch on my wrist. Not necessarily in a bad way. I just feel that I have a watch on my wrist. Other than that, throughout the day I can basically forget that I have a watch on my wrist. I'm very, very surprised given the fact that the thickness of this watch is 14.3 millimeters. So the comfort with this watch on my wrist is better than expected, a lot better than expected. Another thing which I was afraid while buying this watch is that given its thickness stated on the internet of 15 millimeters, I was afraid that this watch is gonna look like some kind of Kinder Surprise toy on my wrist, just a bubble thing on my wrist. But I'm very surprised that, well, at least visually, looking like that, this watch appears to be as if it is roughly like 11 millimeters in thickness, I would say visually. I would say the visual thickness on this watch is very well controlled because of this sandwich design. It has multiple layers breaking down the thickness of this watch. That's why it doesn't look very thick on the wrist. Basically when the watch is sitting on the wrist, you don't even see this bottom portion, you see this top portion, and mainly you see the middle portion which is very slim, as you can see, visually making this watch appear to be a lot slimmer than it is. Yeah, this thick bezel kinda stands out a little bit, and if you really don't like that, you can go for acrylic version, which has a lot slimmer bezel, and effectively the whole watch looks a lot slimmer. But even with this Sapphire version with thick bezel, I'm actually surprised that this watch looks way slimmer on the wrist than the measurements actually suggest. And I have just realized that I haven't gave you a good look all around. So here it is. Take a good look all around how this thing looks like. And this side profile, yeah, it's bubbly. It's a bubbly thing. But when it is sitting on the wrist, I'm telling you, you only see like this bit of the watch. You don't even see this bottom portion, and you don't really see from the side like that. You see from an angle like that, and especially looking from an angle like that, it looks a lot slimmer than it actually is. That's what I have in mind speaking about visual thickness. So I'm very surprised. This watch doesn't feel thick on the watch. On my wrist. Doesn't feel thick on my wrist, and visually it doesn't look as thick as millimeters would suggest. So let's take a good look all around. I'm very happy that this case back display window has anti-reflective coating, which is nice. You know, it's nice attention to detail, especially given the price point. You know, yeah, this is a nice item to have. I'm very surprised. I haven't found any problems with this watch. It appears that this watch is actually a very well made thing. Okay, enough of blah blah. Let's have some fun with custom straps, and let's begin with this gray leather strap called Crazy Horse leather strap. And if there are any straps in this video that you are interested in, you can find them all on my website, thomaswatchreviews.com. And this is actually the first strap that I placed on this watch when I got this watch out of the box. I don't know, I just like gray straps, and I think this gray strap, it looks just nice on this watch. It looks just nice. And this is tropical style silicone strap, and I believe you will soon realize that no matter the strap, this watch looks just wonderful. Doesn't matter what kind of strap you put on this watch, it looks good no matter what. I honestly seriously like this watch very, very much. I'm very surprised, very blown away by the beauty of this watch. To be honest with you, I didn't expect to like it so much, but here we are. Here we are enjoying this beautiful thing right now. And I do think that it looks very nice on this green strap as well. This is a very, very nice suede leather strap, and the name of the color is light brown, simply light brown. And I think this light brown color looks wonderful, simply wonderful with this deep blue dial. It's a gorgeous, beautiful combination. It's an eye candy, man. You know what, let's slow down a little bit and let's just appreciate what we see. Let's just take it in, let's just take it in. You know, right now I'm looking through the camera screen, I'm like, yeah. I really like what I see. Man, this thing, what a pleasant surprise, this thing. This is a gray nylon strap with this interesting texture, and these straps are actually very good, very durable, and very cheap. I do highly recommend them, especially this gray color. I think it fits on many watches very nicely, and as you can see on this one, it looks just wonderful. But you know, with this watch, no matter what I put on this watch, it still looks wonderful. Yeah, what a nice thing to have. Yeah, it looks very good, very, very good. It's very difficult to decide which color to choose with this watch. This is exactly the same strap, except it is brown, and I kind of think that brown looks probably better than the gray one. I'm not sure, man. All of them look great. But speaking about brown, hold on a second, I don't know. This suede leather strap probably looks a little bit better than the nylon. Well, I don't know, I'm confused. They all look very good, to be honest with you. Yeah, what a beautiful thing to play with. Trying on different straps, a lot of fun. This thing is a lot of fun, and I really like how those numbers and hands just light up when they hit the right angle of light, like boom. It's I love this thing. This thing is very beautiful. This one is called Wool Wave Leather, and the price of this beautiful strap, 3 euros. This strap costs 3 euros, and I think this is my favorite one because it has certain character which just matches this vintage style watch very nicely. And I have actually worn this watch for the past week and a half on this particular strap. I haven't worn just a single watch for the week and a half. I actually worn these 2 watches. You know, I kind of start my day with this watch on my wrist and end my day with this watch on my wrist. And after basically 2 weeks, I still haven't decided which one I like better. To be honest with you, I like them both very, very much. And 100% for sure, I am keeping them both in my personal collection. After I'm done filming them, I'm blown away by these 2 beauties. If you haven't seen video on this watch, I highly recommend checking it out. I believe this is just one video behind. Such a beautiful watch. So yeah, these 2 watches for the past 2 weeks, I was enjoying like a little kid enjoys Christmas gifts, you know, in that kind of happiness. So yeah, this watch, I think on this strap, looks just wonderful. Looks just wonderful. Now let's answer some questions which I believe I will get in the comments. So why sapphire crystal? Why I didn't go for acrylic crystal? Well, simply at the moment I was buying a watch using AliExpress provided money. The acrylic crystal simply wasn't available, so I bought sapphire crystal because I just couldn't get acrylic. And to be honest, I'm not disappointed. I think this sapphire crystal looks great. It's fine. I think it does have a little bit of anti-reflective coating. I don't know, but I'm not disappointed whatsoever with this sapphire. Speaking about acrylic, I would still go for acrylic version, I think, because I think it looks just better. It has slimmer bezel and I love the shape of acrylic crystal version. I think it looks very beautiful and I believe in person it should look actually better than this sapphire crystal version. So here is the answer, but I'm still not disappointed whatsoever. Now another question is why I didn't buy the, you know, original champagne or cream dial version with blue hands and red star. Well, the simple answer is just I don't like how it looks like. It's just not my thing. Maybe if I would see one in person, I would like it. I don't know. It's very different seeing a watch in pictures and in video, but I just don't like it. And you know, I know many people buy this model 1963 just because of this chronograph movement, because this is the only cheap option how to get a mechanical chronograph, and that's the reason why most people buy this thing. But for me, until there wasn't this blue version available, I simply wasn't even interested, because you know, at the end of the day, I'm just a quartz guy. I like quartz watches. I'm not really that much interested in mechanical things like this. But once I saw this blue watch, that's it. I just couldn't get it out of my mind. I think it's very, very beautiful. And to be honest with you, even if this watch was quartz, I would like it just as much. I would like it just as much for the same amount of money. And speaking about money right now, the price that I got this watch for, after applying discount codes, which you can find in my video description, I got this watch for 135 euros, which I think 135 euros for a watch with sapphire crystal, with this crazy mechanical movement, which even I like, you know, it's insane, absolutely insane. I'm speechless for 135 euros. And speaking quality wise, quality control wise, there is nothing to complain about. This watch is actually very well made. I'm very, very surprised. But yeah, the main selling point for me is the way this watch looks like, the way it feels like, what kind of vibe it gives, especially on a vintage style strap like this one. Absolutely love this thing. I'm blown away how much I like it. It's wonderful. It's simply wonderful. This dial, those slim hands, those shiny indices, those numbers, absolutely every single little detail about this watch, no matter how you look at this thing, up front, from the side, even from the back. Man, this thing is unbelievable. Yeah. I simply love this thing. So yeah, thank you for watching. Have a beautiful day. Goodbye.